right. Tell me, it's been a while, Carlo.
Yeah.
When did we chat last time officially on camera?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it has been tough period it's for me, but you passed the same thing, right?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, summer was good. Had a lot to do, a lot of work, and I think if you remember, I also started a new job,
Yeah.
and somehow it turned out that this job uh, gave me so many opportunities to just like try things out, test things, and I don't know, I just kind of like fell down the rabbit hole there, and I even dropped 2 clients because I was just like, okay, whatever. I mean, like we always say, if the
Yeah.
client, low paying clients mostly are the most work, and high paying clients kind of like let you
Yes,
sail smoothly. So that's kind of the
exactly.
cut I had to do. And it's the first time in my life that I actually did that, because I was always like, yeah, no, I can maybe upsell them, or they're somehow friends, or we have a good relation. And that's also one of the reasons why I gave them a good price to my services. But at some point I was just like, okay, whatever. Sorry guys, this is the price I'm charging. Otherwise
Worth
it's
my
not
time. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. I mean, worth my time sounds very, very bad. I usually try to call it a little bit more professional, as in,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know the name is this one, right? Because
Exactly. At the end of the day, it's like, hey guys, you're wasting my time for that.
yeah, exactly. No, but I had this period that actually I was doing too many things at the same time. And I tried, to fit as many things as possible in my time. And seeing that obviously I also have a part-time job through this, I mainly work on TopFL. And so basically with this client, I have all the basically afternoon and evening, which is booked for them. This engagement is going to end soon, but I had this period where in the morning and the weekends, I was trying to do as much things as possible to find new client, to have a better branding, I would say, out there, because in this last 2 years, actually, I had, as I told you, even last time, I had the lucky that I've been engaged from the beginning as a freelance. So I never really had the chance to create my brand or,
Hmm.
be out there as all entrepreneurs are doing now, right? So being always visible on LinkedIn, on Twitter, being there, And so at the same time, I was trying to do this. So trying to be everywhere and
Right.
trying to start a lot of things. Everything was always related to my business, right? Um, and at one point, I felt so tired,
Yeah.
super tired. I couldn't even, be. Sometimes I was sad during the day. I had ups and downs, even of humors. Sometimes I wake up in the morning, nice and happy, and after 2 hours, I was already drawn by, I don't know, sadness or something, and I
Do
always
you
with
think
this.
it's
Yeah, go ahead.
do you think maybe also did you feel like in a way like without a perspective, like kind of doubting yourself, like, hey, is this actually worth it what I'm doing, or like why the hell am I even doing that?
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Actually,
Yeah.
obviously, obviously, in my opinion, everything that I did, even if was maybe not the right way I did it, anyways, is something that helped me in some way, right? Even just to understand my limits on some
Mhm.
stuff, right? Which I never really understood probably before, because I never had the the issue about that, right? So I always had the feeling that everything was in control. But at that point, I started to lose control. Even if, and that's why probably I started to do as much thing as possible to. But at the end of the day, what I really understood, and obviously, sometimes you have to, kick your head on the wall to understand it really, and that you have to focus as much as possible on one thing. If in terms of business, I mean, because if you have other stuff that you like to do but are not related to the business, I mean, I don't think people goes to the gym or I don't know, whatever, right? So this is not business related. I mean, business related is like, for us, I would say digital entrepreneur, if we want to call us like that, is...
Don't want to, we are.
Yeah. So we have to be there, right? On internet.
Right.
We have to reply to post. We have to post things. We have to... I love that now with artificial intelligence, we can do so much and so faster, right? It's also true that obviously we always have to put our own hands on these things. But now you can definitely do a lot more, and you don't. The beauty, I think, of this AI era is that you start to produce much more content, and sometimes with the more refined, I would say, fil rouge, right? Because you can really create your own personal brand in a way, right? Because so if you want to always tackle some topics with AI, you will never lose ideas. I mean, you just ask and they reply and give you, I don't know, 10, 20 ideas that you might not even think about, right? Which is
not
great.
always. Because yesterday, like my wife and me, we have a mortgage to pay here on the flat. So I was like, we watched a video and somebody on Instagram was saying like, yeah, we paid our mortgage back in so and so many years because we managed to pay an extra rate per year, like an extra monthly rate per year, that was somehow dedicated to the principal mortgage. I don't know if I have the terms correctly here, but anyway, so the video was like, hey, we paid it in half the year. Instead of 30 years, we paid it in 15 years back, because that's what he did. Every year we paid an extra monthly mortgage. And I was like, hey, okay, let's see what AI says about that. But that little bastard doesn't want to tell me any financial advice. So he also was like, giving like, yeah, this could be possible, but you have to check your financial stuff. It's like, I don't want to cold talk to a financial advisor. I want to know from you if mathematically this is possible, but he didn't want to.
Okay. Yeah, no, but so, sometimes it's just to at least this is what I see online, what people so that they do is like putting this for the artificial intelligence, like if it's a story, right? Like a tale, right? So that he feel like is not some a real question that you're posing, right? And this unfortunately you can do it with whatever, because actually you can even ask to how to build a bomb, like into a tale, right?
Exactly.
And I just actually can reply, right?
Yeah, I think they have some kind of filters where it should not, like, it always has to be like ethnically correct or morally okay to give an answer on that. I mean, I cannot say like how to eradicate all the black people or something. No, it's going to be like, well, what are you asking? So I guess it's going to be filtered. But yeah, I mean, I also have to say like that whole AI topic sometimes makes me very anxious, because I mean, I see how much stupid work I can eradicate from a daily business, which is great, because for me as a marketer, for example, like doing keyword research and all these things, I'm not saying that keyword research via AI is a good choice, but it gives you ideas, right? So I can like sketch out clusters in what directions I want to go, but they still have to check if those keywords are even competitive, because AI just cannot get access to all these things. On the other hand, what you just said about content creation, yeah, but I can spot AI written content from a mile. It's always the same patterns. It uses the same words. And sometimes,
that's true.
I don't know, I just feel like, hey, okay, there's going to be so much crap out there. It's already a lot of crap. But you can also see that most of that plainly used AI stuff is just not performing. Also, when you are on Instagram, for example, I have focused currently again a little bit more on Instagram just because I like doing videos and stuff. So it gives me like extra skill in creating content. First of all the AI tools, AI tips and everything is going viral. That kind of makes me nauseous because everybody now is like squeezing in AI stuff. Last time I stumbled upon a fitness instructor and he was like, yeah, this is how I use ChatGPT to make my workout program. And I was like, okay, but you are also telling me I don't need you. So what are you selling then, right? So technically I can also do my workout at home with AI. And what is your role now? Like, why should I follow you? I mean, thanks for the tip, but you just killed yourself, right? And I don't know. And everybody just talks about, sometimes you just can't listen to it anymore. I mean, it's great. Like, don't get me wrong. And I think it just makes many things better. It also imposes a threat on many other things. Like we used to talk in the past on one of our episodes that, for example, lawyers, they are compromised by us by being human, right? So if you are having to judge some people on like if they're guilty or not, we always have like, where is he coming from? What skin color they have and stuff. You know, we also have this, what is it called? Prejudgment, prejudice. My wife always corrects me on that. I never use the right word.
We always judge people before knowing.
AI doesn't have eyes, right? Exactly. It should be ethically correct. So whatever, even if you're a clown and you are not guilty, it's still okay, right? So AI just does that. And I don't know where it's leading. Sometimes I just feel like, what the fuck? My job is so much in shambles. But then I spoke to another friend. He's a coder. He does API stuff. And he actually gave me this hope because I told him what I'm doing, right? I still have to understand the whole marketing conception and like directions. If I do it via AI and I control and kind of guide it in the right way, it's a different topic. But he then told me, look, it's the same what I do. He just has an idea of what the code has to be doing, but he doesn't write it anymore. So he just like prompts it and then fixes the bugs, right? So he actually is way, way, way more efficient. Then I was feeling like, okay, so, I mean, I look up to him a lot. And if he tells me that, it's makes me feel better. So it's like, it's not that I'm obsolete. I still need to put in my brains and like my knowledge, but I don't have to do all that crappy ass writing or keyword research or like just, I don't know where to start. It's just like prompt, this is what I want to do, right? It gives me an idea that then adjust. But how do you use AI in design, by the way? I'm always wondering. There's so much about copywriting, coding, image. Do you use like image creator? Do you use Midjourney or something?
No, for example, this is something that I never use really. Again, as you know, I'm more on the product design side more than on the pure design side, like visuals or website design. This kind of, even though I do it, but and so in product design, it's difficult that you really need some imagery. So and it's much faster and to just do a search or on this stock footage things and you download what you want. There is already
200 prompts.
Exactly. No, because it's sometimes it's a waste of time even to write the right prompt, because after you need to say okay, I need the SVG file. And one thing that, for example, last time I used it for, which is super dumb, is create QR code, which is I was not even sure you can do it, right? And at one point I said, okay, I have ChatGPT. There are so many of this online tools that does this, the QR codes, that all of them are all paying. I mean, for doing a fucking QR code, right? And so I said, okay, let's try with ChatGPT. And I wrote the URL that I want to the QR code. I said I want this in SVG file. Done. Download it. Put it in.
Work.
So yeah, absolutely.
But you have to have the pro subscription, right? For GPT to do that with image generation.
I'm not sure. I have the pro version. So I pay for the pro version. So I don't know if this is a limitation for the 3.5. But yeah, it's I mean, for example, this saves so much time because you don't have to go on that specific website, because it's the only one that gives you, I don't know, 2 QR code per day, after you have to pay something like that, right?
I'll give you a little QR code hack. What I do is, it's also for free. You can go to, I think it's qrcodes.api.com or something, and then you get like a URL, and you can put it in a Google Sheet, and then you just make a formula of what you all want to be connecting, and you give parameters like in which file you want to have it, and like which size, which color, and so on. And then you just like copy the formula. If you have many to do, for example, then you just copy the formula in your Google Sheet, and you have it instantly. All the things that are.
Oh, nice.
It's super cool. Yeah, I once found this out, and I had to do, I think, around 100 QR codes for links, right? So you can actually connect it to Bitly to actually shorten the link. So it actually, the QR code looks a little bit more tidied up. And I didn't know you can do it for free. I also went to these like, it costs 15 euros a month, and they can do 15 QR codes, and you always have to type in everything. It's like super annoying if you have to do many of those. And I found this out I think I went down some Reddit forum, and then I just copied this thing and I put it together. You copy it, and it makes you like 100,000 QR codes instantly, basically, if you need to, right?
Nice. Right.
Speaking of QR codes, did he make you this? Because I've seen a couple of AI generated QR codes where you have an image, for example, you have like a platter of spaghetti, and the QR code is somehow embedded into this image.
For example, no, for me it was just mostly curiosity. I will use this QR code, but I didn't have the necessity, at least, to create something with patterns. But I will do it for sure. I will try at least.
Yeah, go
Yeah, for sure.
Very funny. Like I seen some examples where they had like, I think it was for a sushi restaurant, and those squares that are in the corners, there were some kind of I don't know, maki rolls, and somehow aligned that way that the QR code scanner could actually figure out what it means. So it's funny, actually.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point, because it's I mean, QR code exists since 1994. 1994. So that is the first time that this and I think we're Japanese that created these QR codes for basically the automotive industry, for all the PCs in the automotive industry. And from then basically started to be used in every field. But the jump, in my opinion, arrived with the pandemic of the use of the use this QR code, because actually, like, all restaurants started to utilize the QR code instead of papers, right, for the menus. And I see it like here in Luxembourg, basically more than 70% of all restaurants now they don't even have the menu anymore. So you scan it or you scan it. That's it.
Yeah,
I mean, they don't have it.
I mean,
and
it's funny that you mentioned that, because when I was in Saudi Arabia last week, they also had restaurants where you actually just scanned your QR code on your table. You got the menu, you ordered even via the QR code, and eventually you could just like scan it again and pay the bill. So actually, the waiter is just bringing you the shit.
Yeah,
and the funny thing is, the funny thing, you could actually get into this app and tell me like, okay, we are a party of 4, right? And each one is like paying whatever. So they could all like come in and like divide it and like pay by Stripe, PayPal and whatever. So, which I think is pretty cool, honestly.
Amazing.
Because, it's a very good use. But I have to say, sometimes I stumble upon, do you know the eSIM provider AirTalo? Have you ever been traveled somewhere where you don't have roaming for data and you needed to have an electronic SIM card for your phone? So you can access
No, I never used it.
For example, there's this website, it's called AirTalo, and you can actually buy electronical SIM cards for any country. So what you do when you travel, you don't have to buy your overpriced roaming package from your provider in the country. So you just buy a new SIM card. You can go in your settings, turn one off and turn one on, right? So your data is great. And I bought that for Saudi Arabia, and I had 5 gigabytes of data for 16 euros. I mean, it's not sufficient for a longer time, but I mean, if you're just there for a week, it's better than paying 500 megabytes for, 30 euros or something, And but what they did is like they actually should know that 99% of the people come on this website via phone because it's a tool that you need for your phone, right? But what they did eventually when I bought it, there was like an installation guide with a QR code. I was like, how the fuck should I now scan this, right? I mean, I had to send it to my wife on WhatsApp, like a screenshot that I can like scan it. I was like, oh gosh, I think that's one of these things Carlo would instantly know. UX fail.
Yeah, it's true. But on the other side, obviously, one of the principle, obviously, of in general of UX design, of the QR code in general, is that obviously you have to start thinking what will be the device that you will use, which is 90% of the time is the phone. And so you have to think about the content that should be mobile first, right? So it should be definitely something that you can see and utilize on the phone. And this is one of the principle. Obviously, the QR codes are used almost everywhere now. I told you last time, right?
Your Tesla. Wait, maybe scan it. I access your Tesla.
Because we said I had this period of time where I was like super, confused, and I said I need to distract myself. Something to do that is not related to work, right? Because I was so drawn by this social media things and stuff, so that I said, no, I have to find something that is completely, or at least 90% of the time, disconnected from a PC, right? So obviously, if I have to do the little project on Illustrator or something for this kind of stuff, it's okay. But again, is disconnecting from my daily job, right? Thinking about my business, thinking about this. So it's something that I enjoy so much, and I couldn't imagine, because sometimes, in the morning I wake up lately, that the only thing that I want to do is go in my cellar where I have all my stuff to cut the leather and to burnish the leather, and this kind of stuff, which is amazing, because it's
good fun.
Yeah, it's since so much time that I didn't found so much enjoyment to do things, really. And so I'm so happy that I discovered this new hobby of many that I have, right? But and as we said last time, it's also the thing that I arrived at one point and I said to myself, you know what? Fuck everything. I don't want to be and follow all these gurus that says how you can manage better your time, or how many things you can do or in a day, or you have to do this to be better at your time management, or all this kind of stuff. At one point I said, I don't care. I mean, why I have to feel guilty if one evening I want to spend 2 hours and a half looking at Netflix? Why?
Yeah, no, don't.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's life. I want to do it. I mean, what's the drawback? I mean, it's my life. I decide for myself, right? Why I have to be like you, right? So
Right.
this ultimately it's really important probably to understand, because we are in this era where everybody is better than you, which is absolutely not true. Uh,
But they display themselves as they would be better than
exactly,
everybody's a fucking expert, right?
exactly. That's the truth, right? Everybody is a fucking expert, and everybody wants to sell you the best strategy to do X, Y, and
Yeah.
Z, or how to do the best super landing pages design. Okay, yeah, and you
But
buy, I don't know, templates for $50 that probably you will never use.
I mean, first of all, sounds to me like you spend a lot of time on Twitter because that's what you
Yes.
just mentioned with like you have to lift weights or before 12 o'clock, I did my whole day in just 3 hours, blah, 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 how to do 4 hours a week, right? All that stuff. I mean, I had this feeling too because I mean, first of all, always say create before you consummate because a lot of people actually scroll through these social medias. And that's where anxiety is actually happening because as we just said, everybody's a fucking expert. And
Mhm.
I do the same, right? I mean, I try to share my knowledge and I don't perceive myself as an expert in anything I do. Sometimes I get massively fucking lucky, like I just did before. Like for my company that I work, I dropped their ad budget by 80% from 100,000 euros to 20,000 because I just tweaked something very small. But that doesn't happen every day, right? And I know that these people, I mean, I also wrote it now in my profile, like, hey, I spent 80,000 euros ad spend for my company, blah, blah, blah. I'm proud of that I did that, but I don't feel totally like I own it because, could have also not have happened. But I just like
Yeah.
to experiment and it worked. But what I want to say is, yeah, when you always scroll and you see like everybody is top notch funnel builder and social media is super successful and these credentials and these credentials, it just imposes this stress on me. I'm like, fuck, I am just a hopeless little loser here that tries to make it, but I will never be like that. But what you forget to see is that they all feel exactly the same. And what you perceive or like how you perceive them is just in your head. It's not really what's happening out there. Because yeah, and that's actually what makes us so fucking miserable, honestly, because I have these friends, they see what I'm all doing. They're like, how the hell do you get that time? And like, how do you manage? How do you even figure out how to do these things? And for me, I'm just like, I have 80% of the day no clue how and what I'm gonna do. And somehow I just know this is the goal that I want to be reaching, right? So I go to start firing up the internet, I Google some stuff, and hey, pieces are getting together, right? I mean, nothing that we actually do is witchcraft. Nothing is black magic out there that you need 20 years of experience. When you have the experience, you're just faster in finding out which way you need to go in order to reach that goal, right? So, yeah, I mean, I could totally relate to you, like feeling stressed and like, but that's where it comes also. Like when one person has on Twitter 10,000 followers, or let's say 20,000 followers, and looks like it's absolute rock star, I usually check their other social media profiles, and that's where actually the truth comes out. Because I followed one account. She has, I don't know, 50,000 on Twitter, and she does a good job. I'm not saying she's not doing good what she does, right? She's definitely successful. She definitely knows what she's talking about. But all these um, vanity numbers like followers and likes and reposts and comments, and everybody's like, well, you're setting us the truth and blah blah blah. And then you check another profile and it's complete opposite because it just seems like she vibes with one kind of people audience, right? But again, that doesn't mean that she is this super guru or he is that super guru. It's just like it's there.
Indeed.
looks like that because she actually managed to hit her audience. And for these people, like for me, because I learned a lot from that person, she or he looks like extremely successful and knows what they're talking about. But on another hand, on another platform, maybe it doesn't work that well because there are different people. So it's different perspectives. And that's why I kind of learned, or that's how I learned to distance myself from let's say overrating, overpraising these people because, hey, they're all human. They all cook with water, right? They all fart once in a while. And it's super stinky, right? It's just like us all, right? They fuck up in their lives as well, right? I mean, they do fucking miserable mistakes in their jobs as well. They probably have clients that just dump them because they suck. But again, they just suck for those people, for the exact client, and not for the other ones that it's working. So it's always the basis of what we work in, the target audience, the right people that you need to have. And yeah, that's also why I dropped 2 clients, like we just talked in the beginning, because they were just not a fit for me, or I was not a fit for them because I charge more than they are willing to pay. So hey, no hard feelings. It's just not a fit.
Yeah, that's a good point about how clients want to pay, because we are, and I understand this via the different platform I work on, that the rates now are dropping so much. I don't know exactly, to be honest, why this is happening. Well, always there are millions of things that happens in the same time, and market goes down. Could be, the war. Could be, I don't know, too many AI tools, or and but the reality is, at least for myself, as a product designer, working mainly, at least in the latest 2 years, on this platform, that too many people actually are freelancing, and too many people are trying to hit the market, and the clients don't want to pay anymore this astronomical prices. That's a reality. And the problem of, like, for example, the some of the platform is that they charge too much on basically our hourly rate. And the problem is that, obviously, so if you're willing to take, I don't know, 50 euros per hour, which is pretty standard, I would say, at least in Europe, to give a price of 50 euros to the client, it means that I should be paid like 28 or something like that, because they have so much margin on us that is impossible for basically the clients to afford something more, right? And so we are the person that actually, if I want to work, I have to lower so much my rate. And sometimes I just say, okay, no, I just don't do it. Even though it's might be a good project, and I'm sure I'm a good fit, and that's what I go to take a look at the rate. I say, okay, no, I don't do it, because my time is precious. And to be honest, if I have to think to not waste my time, but being paid not as I value my time, I just don't do it. And I just had this conversation with another guy that is contacting me via LinkedIn to do some design for a marketing agency, which was like bannering stuff, which is not something that I usually do, is not my core business. But I mean, I said, okay, yeah, let's do it. And he asked me, okay, look, what is your daily rate and what is your hourly rate? I told him, and he told me, oh, but for this kind of job is too high. I said, sorry, but my time, 1 hour of my time is 1 hour of my time, no matter the type of job I'm going to do. I mean, if I have to clean, the toilets, and I have to, put my brain on something. It's 1 hour of my time. It's how I value my time, right? If it's 50, if it's 60, if it's 70, right? So how can you distinguish? At least on my side, I think it in this way. So how can I distinguish if I'm doing a business card or if I'm doing a website? If it takes me 1 hour to do one or the other, the rate is the same. I mean, why you tell me that I have to lower the rate because it's a different kind of job that everybody can do? Okay, ask someone else then. you know, it's crazy.
Yeah,
So
no, I can totally relate to that. I even get that far that sometimes when I don't know, like here in Austria, you can how to say, you can get money back for certain things, like if, I don't know, let's say you were at the doctor and you pay 25 euros for, I don't know, consultation at the private doctor. I just don't really ask for that money back because how long does it take me to make the paper go through to the right position, right department that I get these 25 euros? It's sometimes like, I don't know, half an hour, and I say like my hourly rate is close to 100 euros, right? So it's like, if I can't do it in 15 minutes, I just don't do it because it's a waste of time for me. And if I cannot afford to not have 25 euros, I have a different problem. Of course, it sums up at some point, but I mean, like for exactly only
yeah,
25 euros, I'm not even doing the effort.
yeah, absolutely.
So I just let it slide. Yeah. No, but I totally get it. Like it's your work. If you do X, Y, Z, or if you just do A, B, C, it's the same. It's what you cost. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not
It should be like that.
the type of outputs that I because in the design world, I know how much value I can bring to a project, right? No matter the type of project that is, right? Of course, in some area I can be stronger, in some other can be obviously weaker, but
Also, you have to keep in mind, and actually took me a while to get this mindset. So, like, we are both in the field of helping people make money down to the T, basically, right? I mean, you do a design for something that eventually makes the other people money. The same for me, right? If I do any of these marketing services, that person I do these services actually wants to make money. Nobody makes money for whatever reason, except you're a politician because they're just wasting a fuckload of money on nothingness, basically, right? Well, that's also how their campaign looks like. They just has no goal. It's bullshit. Sorry when I say that, but I'm very unpolitical.
me
But
too.
so that was my rant on politics. But yeah, so if somebody comes like, hey, can you help me with Google Ads? I always ask like, so what's in it for me? I love to help you, but if I help you make money, should be a deal. And a lot of people can understand that. It's like, yeah, but you're my friend. It's like, yeah, okay, but if I'm your friend, I make it, let's say I crack the cheat code and you make €1 million, like, okay, good for you, but I worked for free to get you €1 million.
Yeah.
Where's my share? Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just hard to communicate to people that are not in the business field or that just like do, but I distance myself from that. Somebody comes with like dog teaching school. I'm like, I don't think you can afford it. You're better off to teach yourself. Yeah. But eventually they come because they don't have the time. And that's where we still come in, right? We actually help people saving time so they can focus on stuff that is actually more important to them.
Exactly.
Whereas we are in charge of making them money while they check their Excel sheets or something that I don't want to do. So yeah.
Yeah, that's absolutely true because again, if you search for a specific kind of person like a designer or a marketer that has experience, they so they are there because they have the experience and can help you, right? To achieve some goals that you might take, I don't know, 100 more hours of work to achieve the same thing, right? So where is the deal? Is exactly this, right? So how much you value your time? Is it the, I don't know, 2,000 euros that you will pay Phil to make your ads campaign that for sure will perform better than yours. And so you do just a couple of calculations, right? Maybe using ChatGPT if you want to, right? And you can understand how you value your time and how valuable is to get help from a professional, obviously. So that's the reality.
And there's no shame in getting help. I also need to say that asking for help is always a strength. I cannot admit it always, but it is. Every time I get help, I learn, I get better, I grow. And that's also with businesses, basically. If they try to do everything themselves, they just get stuck, right? I mean, just focus on what you are doing best. What's your core business? Focus on that. And give the other stuff away. Even in times of AI, you can ask a prompt to AI to do whatever, but it's never the same as people that actually know what are the mechanics behind it, right? And they're also going to use AI, which is okay, but they just ultimately optimize it for you. And even with the help of AI, their output is just a whole different level, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like whatever I could be doing before for my monthly rate, I can do now maybe 10x. So it's also a plus, whatever tool I use. I just can charge the same rate, give you more for it. And that's how it should be. Technically, it's not always like that. In the nice world, it would look like that.
Yeah. No, this is true. Absolutely. And again, for content and marketing, I think again, I'm not obviously an expert. You are the expert in this field, but it helped a lot on the on finding, these keywords or stuff like that. Obviously, you have to put your hands on, and you have to, I don't know, maybe compare with real tools that exist since the beginning of the internet, like Google Analytics or keyword research, keyword planner, and this kind of stuff. Obviously, right? Where you have more of a source of truth or of real searches that and queries that people utilize. And so maybe comparing the two and, having other ideas on where to put these keywords.
I think we should just not get disencouraged, because eventually whatever technology came, we always had a benefit out of it. I cannot remember of anything that actually fucked up whole humanity. Maybe nuclear bombs and black powder, but that's a different topic. We will probably throw spears at each other still, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But it's the same with productivity, right? We had productivity tools, we had the internet spread knowledge all around the globe. I mean, I'm actually also excited what AI is going to do. It does a lot of good stuff. It's just important for us to know that we just readjust the tasks that we used to do. So just accept, hey, okay, there's a change coming, and change is knowingly the only constant in the universe. So as long as you just go with the flow, like Bruce Lee said, be like water, right? Good Twitter quote. But that's important. I mean, again, I can do more output. I don't have to do the annoying work. But I totally get it. I'm also anxious sometimes. That I think we finished this episode, because it was very good to talk to you and just get off my fears and just, I don't know, I had a lot of stuff boiled up, and it's always great to talk to you and see that I'm not alone in this boat, especially when I'm working on a freelance basis.
We have to be much more frank, to be honest, with each other, because sometimes also in some Twitter spaces, I heard about, you have to do this, or you have to approach this way because blah 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 blah. Yeah, but what works for you doesn't mean that works for me, right? And we don't have the same mentality. We grow differently, so we are just different, and that's it. So my opinion is that we don't have to always relate to others, but really try to understand ourselves first.
Right.
Because being copies of others is like utilizing AI, right?
Cool. Yeah. That's
So
true.
we are just copy of someone else, right? And AI is this nowadays is just scanning the entire internet and creating content based on what we already created as humans.
Exactly. Yeah,
Right?
it's not creating new content. Yeah.
Exactly. Just it's not learning yet. So it's not creating new things that doesn't exist yet. So it's everything is based on what we already created in the past as humans.
Right.
So it's just rearranging the content because it has the power to read the entire internet and and rearrange the things and put together something that relates to you on the question that you asked for. That's it.
Exactly. Which is a good summarizer.
This for sure. Okay.
Right.
Cool.
Hey, cool. Thank you very much. I mean, it's already almost 50 minutes. I think it's the longest episode we had, right? I think.
Probably.
Close second, yeah. But yeah, moving forward to talk to you again. And
Yes.
stay healthy, stay safe, keep it good, be optimistic. Everything is going to work out. Everything is going to turn out well eventually, because it always does. And if you feel bad, always chat me up.
Absolutely. So,
Alrighty, Carlo.
everybody.
You too. Yeah, everybody. Thanks for listening. See you next time.